This episode of Spectre Sound Studios is brought to you by ProMix Academy. Get your hands on tracks by Motorhead, Galacticon, and many more in the Ultimate Rock Mixing Bundle. Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Friday. That means it's time for SMG Viewers Comments. Let's get right to it.
Glenn, you are disappointing me. You are censoring yourself. I already said how many F's a few times instead of fuck.
Yes, that is the sad reality we live in today. Not allowed to say the infamous fuck word anymore because somebody might get offended and then cut my advertising. Thanks, fuckers.
Are you fucking kidding me? How many Patreons would you need to say fuck it? Doesn't matter. Is that even feasible? I'd be interested to know. Let's beat the system and find a loophole. I hate censorship. It's like the 90s all over again. My mom had to buy the Hey Stupid album for me because it had drug reference. Never mind, he was calling Shooting Up Stupid, hence the name of the fucking album. Seriously, I'd be interested in looking into this. Throw a number out and I'll be first to sign up.
A number, honestly, I'd probably have to save maybe $2,000 a month on my Patreon to be able to turn off the ads and just give it to you guys straight. Hopefully that's not completely unreasonable sounding. I am trying to make a living at this. So right now, yes, unfortunately, I have to self-censor and I can't say the fuck word too many times or somebody might take my money away. But seriously, to all you guys who've signed up as patrons, thank you so much. I don't know, what would you guys think? Should we do a campaign, a Patreon campaign? Hey, keep the fucks on Spectre Sound Studios, sign up here. You know, honestly, it really shouldn't be that hard. I mean, there are 260,000 of you guys. If you guys want to see this show completely uncensored and go that way, I'd love to do it. Go over to my Patreon and throw me $1 a month. If we get like 2,000 of you guys to do it, for $1 a month, yes, we can bring the fucks back onto Spectre Sound Studios. I think that'd be really cool. Let me know what you guys think.
Glenn, I think since you watch your language, as you say, your content has gotten better through that.
Well, I don't know. What do you guys think? I think that's kind of bullshit, to be honest with you.
I enjoy the extra guitar noises, like the fingers sliding on strings from fret to fret. It reminds you that a human recorded herself playing physical instrument. I think it's total shit to take that stuff out. Really reaps out the humanity. It's probably why I like punk, real punk, none of that pop punk shit so much.
Truth be told, I've been listening to a lot of Sex Pistols lately, and you know, those guys were not good musicians by any stretch of the imagination, but they were genuine. There was a lot of cool punk stuff, and again, not great musicianship, but yeah, it was pretty cool because it was raw and it was real and the emotion was real and it wasn't edited out and it wasn't censored by auto-tune and we can hear what the singer was trying to get across. Boy, if only we could do that again.
Resonant head change. Every 2 or 3 battered head changes. That's my usual go-to rule. I don't throw them away though. If they're good, I give them to local music co-ops, community rehearsal facilities, and schools.
Hey, holy smokes, a drummer gives helpful advice. Will wonders never cease? Seriously though, I think that's a great way of doing things. Yeah, resonant heads every 2 to 3 times you change out the top heads. Great rule of thumb. I gotta agree with you with giving away the heads. I've done that for the last, I don't know, 20 years or something like that. When I change heads out on my studio kit, I'll give them to a drummer who's gigging regularly. It's like, here's a reasonably broken in set of drum heads that might not be suitable for the studio anymore, but if you're holding your batter heads together with duct tape, these are probably going to do the job way better. So yeah, I'm always happy to give those away. TJ has gotten an awful lot of free sets of drum heads from me over the years. Let's put it that way.
Greetings from Down Under. Can you recommend a reasonable entry-level set of drum mics? Moving towards pre-production territory with my band, and I want to put the drummer through his paces. Keep up the work, and fuck you, Glenn.
Hey, greetings from the Great White North. Hope things are going well down in Dingoland. Anyway, yes, entry-level drum mics that don't suck. I've got a set of T-Bones here. And I forget the exact code. I'm going to find a link and put that in the description for you below and put that in the titling so we know what the hell it is. Toman sent me these a while back and they're on the 2 demo list. You get a couple of condenser mics that look an awful lot like Shure SM81s, but EM81s. Oh, okay. Not to be confused with the SM81s, yes. And then we've got these CD56 betas. So these are obviously to look like some Shure betas of some sort. And then a big honking kick mic. And it looks like it's got a little bit of lift at 8K. This might give a nice snap. And this is the BD52 beta, not to be confused with the Shure mic with the beta name. I hope to have Cam Fleury try these out real soon because I thought a great set of budget drum mics would be awesome to check out. And I got a feeling these are going to be great. I've been super impressed with the stuff coming from Toman. So stay tuned for that. Watch for demo. I think it's going to be really freaking cool. Okay, everybody, this episode is sponsored by Pro Mix Academy, and this week we've got the Ultimate Rock Mixing Bundle up for grabs. It is 10 lessons at 70% off the individual prices. Grab it now. There's all kinds of cool stuff. Cameron Webb's in there with Motorhead and Aquabats. Ulrich Wild's in there with Galacticon. We got a couple lessons from Warren, and we've even got a couple of lessons from me as well. My producing prog metal lesson is in there. Like I said, it's 70% off, and if you follow the link in the description below, you can get your hands on all of those tracks, hours and hours of video lessons that will help you improve your recording and mixing skills. If you ever wanted to get your hands on top level tracks by guys who've won Grammy Awards, it is seriously worth checking out. Let's get back to the show.
Hey Glenn, last year myself and the band went to a recording studio for the first time together. We thought we knew our songs inside out. Turns out that we didn't. As soon as we had to start playing without any vocals, you started making mistakes. If this comment, and how do you approach this? Obviously the band can practice more.
Get the drummer to rehearse to like a Guitar Pro track and have them cut to that in the studio. I always find that works really well. That and learn the songs without the vocals. You guys should be able to play the songs without the singer singing. I remember back in my days, I used to be the singer in the band, and I remember, we worked our asses off before going into the studio, and I remember the band specifically had me just sit there during a couple of practices and not sing, so they knew the songs inside out. That's easily the best way to do it. And as a singer, I want to be a team player. I want to make sure that helps. So I was just able to sit there and help the guys through it and maybe do some hand signals, that kind of thing. Hey, changes here, that kind of thing. But there's no vocal going on. And that is a great way to learn the material and get yourself ready for the studio. But that's the thing, as soon as you hit that record button, then any misconceptions about how ready you really are, those go away real fast.
Dude, are you sure you didn't mess up the sound samples?
Yes, Jamie, I'm positive. I took meticulous notes to make sure I didn't screw that up. So, sorry to disappoint if you thought the Mesa was going to be that much better than the Harley Benton. Guess what? It wasn't. Both definitely had their own sounds, but was there a clear winner? Probably not. The Harley Benton is definitely a serious bang for the buck cabinet. The proof is in the video. Check it out if you haven't already, and check the link in the description below as well.
Hey Glenn, how about a speaker shootout video? V30s are great, but things start sounding the same when everyone is using them. Could be nice to hear some alternatives.
I totally agree. I've used the Rev cab on a bunch of stuff, which is a phenomenal sounding cab, and that is using the WGS speakers. They have the Veteran 30. It's a little bit darker voice than a V30, and it's pretty badass. My coffee cab has the KT100s in a secondary speaker, which is killer as well. And I want to get a greenback cabinet in here because if you go put on Machine Head Burn My Eyes, that is an awesome guitar sound, and that is the sound of a Celestian greenback. And unfortunately, for some reason, nobody really uses those anymore, which is a shame because they are freaking awesome.
Do you know of any bands who have experimented with recording studio tracks outdoors? I've always wanted to experiment with this and try to add a new atmosphere to a recording. How would it change the sound of a guitar solo, vocals, or a drum fill if recorded in the middle of a forest or in the middle of a valley?
Now that is a very unique and awesome question. I've never done it. I think part of a Lenny Kravitz album was actually recorded in some French villa, and they did some stuff outdoors, which is really cool. Now, this is something I learned very early on. The reason we build recording studios is to shut out the sound of the outside world and bring those sounds in one at a time. Problem with recording outdoors is you've got nature. You're gonna have birds and crap in the background or whatnot, cars driving by, jets flying by, kids screaming in the background. There's all kinds of issues you're gonna run into when you hit that record button out of doors, unless you're going for nature sounds, and that's a little bit different. I think a set of drums would be awesome outside. I would love to do it one day just to hear what goes on, especially when you don't have any of that splashback going on, and you can set up distance mics, like maybe 100 yards away from the drum kit and get some of that awesome echo going off. I think that'd be really cool to do. I'd love to do it like in a football field somewhere. I'd love to do it. That would be something really worth checking out, and one of these days I might get to do it. We'll see what happens.
What do you think of session musicians? I have had an engineer treat me and a couple of other people differently when he found out we were hired for the recording. Thanks and fuck you from Melbourne.
I think session musicians are great. I wish more bands would put their egos aside and use session musicians. That way they get a better sounding record. I know a couple of really great session musicians. Here we go with the name dropping. I met Pete Thorne and Phil X at GitCon, and both those guys are session guys, and both are just phenomenal musicians and have played on a whole crap ton of records. And those guys tour the world all the time. They are busy. Why? Because they're awesome. Yeah, session musicians are great. I've got nothing but the absolute utmost respect for those guys. They're just awesome.
Hey Glenn, will you talk about these two popular entry-level USB interfaces? The Behringer Euphoria line and the Focusrite Scarlett 2nd generation line, Solo 2i2, etc. I'd like to know if they fit the bill of a very good sound at low price, or should we be looking elsewhere? Also, what is the limit of these units? Good for only demos, fine for finished personal projects, fine for pro recordings? Cheers from Quebec City.
Oh, you mean like this, the Focusrite 2i2, which I've reviewed and had that on the show numerous times? Yeah, I think this is great. I think this is a great little entry-level unit. You know, the mic preamps are great. The latency's not too horrible with the drivers. Yeah, it's a good, solid unit. Should you get one? Sure. If you want to step up the quality even more for entry-level, take a look at the Audient ID2 and ID4, I think that's what they're called. They use the exact same mic preamps that are in this beast back here, which is the ASP880. Which I used on the Earthworks drum mic demo. The audience stuff is spectacular. It mounts the exact same mic preamps. They are killer, and yes, you can use those on pro level recordings, no question about it. Hell, you can do pro level recordings with the Focusrite stuff, no question about it either. They're just simply great. I haven't tried the Behringer stuff yet. I'm gonna have to throw that on my to-do list, but seriously, if you haven't, take a look at the audience stuff. It's just awesome.
I love how at least 50% of the questions on here could be answered by Googling for about half an hour. Guys, seriously, the internet has so much free information. Stop being so lazy and at least put some work in for yourself. Also, Adam Neely is amazing. Cheers.
Well, I gotta take slight issue with that. Adam Neely, yeah, I guess he's amazing for a bass player.
I wouldn't mind if you read the user comments in a normal voice. I would probably prefer a normal voice. Honestly, keep up the good work. You are extremely informative.
Well, you know, I did that for the first couple episodes, and I just found, because so many people would just ramble on to make a point, I found that speeding things up just made the show a whole lot snappier and move a whole lot faster, and just became much more interesting to watch. If more people got the point, maybe I wouldn't have done that, but when I sped up the voices, I thought, hey, that kind of sounds like South Park, and it just kind of stuck. Honestly, we're 148 episodes into viewers' comments, and you're the first person to ever complain, so I guess I must be doing something right. Lighten up, buddy! All right, that's it for this episode. Please, if you haven't, make sure to check out the Pro Mix Academy Ultimate Rock Mixing Bundle. It's 10 lessons at a massive discount. It's totally worth checking out. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week. Keep those comments and questions coming, because I want to hear from you.